Hi, this is Matt Clark, and in this video we're going to cover what's probably the second most important ranking factor on Amazon for any product, reviews. Amazon's basically built its business on getting tons and tons and tons of reviews. A lot of people, when they add products to Amazon, basically just copy and paste in the manufacturer's description. So that's not going to help Amazon too much in ranking in Google, which it pretty much dominates. What does help it is getting hundreds and hundreds and thousands, and in some cases tens of thousands of unique reviews for a single product on Amazon. If you have that many reviews, I don't blame Google for letting Amazon rank #1 for all kinds of different products. So Amazon has basically built its business on reviews, and it knows that getting as many reviews as possible is extremely important for its customers, so then customers can see real people's opinions about products, and obviously search engine rankings too. So with that said, Amazon heavily weights the number and quality of reviews you have as to where it ranks your products in its shopping cart. Basically, if you have a whole bunch of reviews, it doesn't really matter if they're all crap, because Amazon realizes if you have a bunch of one-star reviews, then people don't really like your product. It's not providing people a good experience or good value. So if that's the case, it's not going to rank your product very well. So, it's pretty obvious, but you need good reviews. So to go ahead and get started, I wanted to show you a few examples. First off is all I did was search for Atkins. So one thing that I wanted to point out to you is that generally, because of the compounding effect we've discussed in other videos, that being that if you start getting a whole bunch of purchases and reviews, your product will move up in rankings, and just because it's higher in rankings, it'll get even more purchases and reviews. So generally, you'll see this quite a bit if you're looking at different keywords and categories and that kind of thing. The #1 listing has a ton more reviews, dramatically more than the #2 listing. So in this example, you can see that this first product, anyways, it's a book, this is a different product, but still all I did was search for Atkins, and you'll see that it has 251 reviews versus 43. So these people were sort of competing head to head, which is a little bit different products, because one's selling a book, one's selling a physical product. But if they were competing head to head, this would be pretty common, because these people are so far apart in the number of reviews. Amazon can't help but to rate this, #1. Second example I have here is basically just search through different categories. Home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, small appliances, microwave ovens, compact microwave ovens is where we're at. Same thing here. You'll see that this product has 86 reviews, this has 7 and 1. So, once again, you can see the huge difference. Part of it's maybe because this product's a little more popular, this microwave, people like it a little bit more. But another part of it is probably because it's been up at #1 for quite a while, and it's because of that ranking is getting a lot more purchases. If someone just looks on Amazon is looking to buy a compact microwave oven, why would they not buy the first one in the list? So if that's the case, you get more people buying it, more people reviewing it, and it sort of just starts leading away from these ones, and it's why they only have just a few reviews. So the next thing you need to know here is that when you are getting reviews for your products and your listings on Amazon, whether it's a book, Kindle book, or a physical book, or a physical product, you don't need to get thousands and thousands of reviews as long as you're not selling some product that requires thousands and thousands of reviews. If you're trying to get to the #1 best-selling book and that kind of thing, you may need 600-700 reviews. Unless you can get a whole bunch of purchases, but just by getting that enough purchases to get in those kind of rankings, you're probably going to get a bunch of reviews anyways. But all you need to do is basically get enough reviews to be able to compete with the market you're after, and whether that's looking at a category or a keyword. So if you see here, basically you see 7 reviews, 1 review, and 86. So if you're able to get enough purchases, if you have a competitive price, if you do all the other things that you'll learn in this promotion module, and you're able to basically compete with these things on everything else, all else held equal, because you've done everything else you're supposed to do, this has 1 review, this has 7, so if you have 9, 10, 11, 12 reviews, you're going to be ranking higher than either one of these. Then you'll have to do some catching up to get up to the 86 it's going to take to rank better than this product. Now this is pretty similar to SEO. search engine optimization, in the sense that if you want to rank well for a keyword, one place a lot of people generally start with their research is finding out how many links are going to the existing pages that are already ranking for that keyword. Because, for example, if you want to rank for some long tail keyword, we'll just take this example right here. If you want to rank for compact microwave ovens in Google, you don't need to find out how many keywords the people who rank #1 for microwave have, or I mean how many links the people who rank #1 for microwave have, because those could be millions and millions, but compact microwave ovens may only be in the thousands. So that's what you're competing with. So sort of the same thing here. You find out how many reviews people have, and you do all your other promotion, and then as far as reviews, you don't need to get thousands of reviews to compete with these products, only enough to sort of put you ahead of them. And one thing I note here real quick that I saw here, it's kind of interesting because you see this has 240 reviews, but as I said before, Amazon is built its business on reviews, I said, but also being a low-cost provider. $400, $60. That's a good reason why this is not ranking as well as this product. A lot of people are buying it apparently. It's got 240 reviews, but the price is just so out of the ballpark that Amazon's going to show some of these first anyways. So then the next thing you need to note about reviews is the ratio of positive reviews to negative reviews. So first off, if you have only a few reviews and they're negative, that can absolutely kill you. So what you see here is this book, it's a Kindle book, basically only has 2 reviews and both are 1 star. This is going to kill this book's rankings. It's not going to get anything going on. You could see right here, not good for low carb. It's basically not meeting what they thought it was going to be. Not carb friendly, can send diabetic into shock, so she's not very happy about that. And no table of contents, must be an editing issue. First page repeats itself for about 10 pages. These people are not very happy with this book, and these people who actually have purchased it. Amazon verified purchase, Amazon verified purchase. So as you can see, first thing to note is if you only have a few reviews, just if they're negative, it's actually going to kill you because your overall star rating, even though you may only have 2 reviews, is going to be 1 star in this case. That's not good whatsoever. Second thing to note is that if you have, on the other end of the spectrum, if you only have a few reviews and they're all completely 100% 5-star positive, that can also look a little suspicious. It may not necessarily hurt you a whole bunch, but it's something you want to keep in mind because if you're doing some sort of promotions or getting friends and family to review your books, you want to try to get real customers and people to write real legitimate reviews. If you're putting out a crap product, don't ask people to review it. If you're putting out a product that's good, you're going to want people to not be completely 100% happy with it and give it a couple, 3 or, the lowest probably 3, but 3-4-star reviews. It makes things look a little more legitimate. So as you can see here, this is all 5-star reviews. These could be legitimate for all I know, but in all likelihood, this author probably promoted them themselves. Even though these are Amazon verified purchases and that kind of thing, you can easily get people to buy your cheap Kindle book and write a review. You can see this first review actually is not a verified purchase. It's probably the author who bought it. Don't know this for sure, maybe not, but just one thing to keep in mind that it can look a little suspicious if you have perfect review score with only a few reviews. Next thing to note here is the actual balance between positive and negative reviews. Think and Grow Rich, it's one of the most popular business and self-improvement kind of books ever, pretty much. 796 reviews, and overall it's about a 4.5-star review rating, which is really good for having 786 reviews. So it's delivering a lot of value to people. A lot of people like it. And as you can see in their balance of reviews, they have 58 1-star reviews. For whatever reason, these people did not like this book. Sometimes things like this will happen. The wrong book. I put a 3-star review to be fair since I received another book instead. So this is actually something wrong with the seller. So they received a wrong book, and for whatever reason they decided to write a bad review on the product page as opposed to for the seller. So that kind of stuff will happen. But if you have a good balance with this many, obviously you may not give this many reviews, but if you have proportionate ratio of reviews and you still have an overall 4.5-star review ratio, then it's fine to have some that are 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. It shows that it actually is a legitimate thing and you're not just out there doing everything yourself. Another thing to note, if you're thinking you got you rich, there'd be many more millionaires, blah, blah, blah. Some people are just pissed off and just like to complain about things. So you get those people too. It's good to have them in there though, especially if you have a bunch of positive reviews because it helps balance things out. So that's basically what you need to know about getting balanced of reviews. And now I'm going to show you a little bit how you get more reviews. So now we're over here, the short presentation about how to get reviews. So now you know a little bit about the balance you're sort of looking for. You're knowing about the importance of having a bunch of reviews, but then not that you have to have, thousands if you're not trying to compete with other products that have thousands. And so now that you know those things, now I'm able to sort of introduce you to how to get more reviews. First thing I wanted to sort of touch on is we've already covered this, but it provides a really good sort of real-world example of what's been done to get a ton of reviews. This is from a post on Tim Ferriss's blog. I believe this is where it originally came from, but 12 Lessons Learned While Marketing the 4-Hour Body. 4-Hour Body is a book that he came out with. It basically teaches you all kinds of sort of hacks basically to, jump higher, be stronger, increase testosterone, swim faster, run longer, all these different things. It's a really cool book. I've read most of it pretty much cover to cover, tried some different things out. It's really awesome. It's a good book. Go check it out. But what the interesting part is what he's done as far as marketing it. First thing he did, he came out with a really cool book trailer, sort of uses some of the people that are featured in the book and just got, has some cool music and that kind of thing, and basically promoted that on his website and in YouTube and that sort of thing. So if you want to Google it, you can look up 4-Hour Body trailer. That's one thing that he did that was good. Second thing, he had a bunch of existing blog traffic and Twitter following. His first main book anyways is 4-Hour Workweek. If you haven't read that, it's also a really good book, but that one's on business and sort of lifestyle design. But so he already had a huge following on his blog and on Twitter. As you can see, 305,000 followers on Twitter, so he sort of leveraged that to promote his book. That's how I actually found out about 4-Hour Body to begin with. I follow him on Twitter. Third thing he does, this is the part that I want you to pay attention to, because you may not have 300,000 legitimate followers on Twitter, but what you can do is use the same concept to get a ton of reviews. He sent out more than 1,000 advance copies. Now he sent it out to, friends, family, people that had done business with him, people that had bought other stuff from him, people that followed him on his blog and that kind of thing. People basically that he had a good relationship with. And good, smart, intelligent people that'd be able to write, basically a review on Amazon is a main driver of why he did this. So he sent out 1,000 advance copies of his physical book before he actually made it for sale on Amazon. Then he gave him some time to read it, and then on the day of the launch, he sent out an email to those people who he gave the advance copies to with a subject line that said urgent, and asking them to write a review on Amazon within 24 hours whether they liked the book or not. He wasn't trying to tell them to only write 5-star reviews and basically just sort of pump the book up. He knew he created a good product, and so he sent out an email to them asking him to write a review of the book within 24 hours of it being launched. So then he had a whole bunch of activity going on right at the beginning. So what were the results? He had more than 140 reviews in the first 24 hours. 140 reviews for just about any product on Amazon is a good amount. For most products, that'll be enough to drive you to the top spot as long as you have all the other factors in place. 200 positive reviews in the first week. Now he has over 1,600 Amazon reviews. If you look at some of the categories he ranks for with that book, it's kind of funny because these other people will have 80 reviews, 40 reviews, and then his monster review count will be there with 1,600. This all sort of he's very smart. He's a very smart marketer, especially even a very smart book marketer, and he knew what he was doing here. So he sold over 1 million copies of this book. That's it's a little bit of testament to the power of Amazon, and he's obviously promoted this himself. He's a very popular author and that kind of thing, but he knows what he's doing as far as marketing on Amazon. So what's the lesson? Use your social network, and I don't mean just Facebook or Twitter, that sort of thing, although those do help. if you have friends, family, colleagues, employees, people you work with, if you're in any sort of business groups or social groups, um, try to get as many of those people to review your product on Amazon as possible. If you can give them a free copy of a book, or if it's a digital Kindle book, you can send them a free copy and get them to review it. That's good. If it's a physical product, you can get them to try it. That sort of thing. You can obviously, if you talk to a lot of people on Facebook that are your friends, you can ask them through Facebook. There's nothing wrong with that. But basically, using people is, a great place to start as far as getting a ton of reviews on Amazon. Don't overlook this. It's extremely important because just about everybody is going to have an Amazon account that they're able to write reviews with. To be able to write reviews with an Amazon account, all you have to do is have had purchased a product greater than 48 hours ago. Most people bought a product probably years ago, so it's a good place to get reviews. Now I want to tell you sort of a little bit of a story about a product I was selling that'll have a good lesson for you. I was selling a diet product on Amazon, and it was doing very well. But one thing is the top competitor we actually never overcame that top spot. But we did get a ton of purchases, and we knew we took enough sales away from them and enough traffic away from them that they decided to start writing bad reviews of us because we actually sort of caught them, but we were putting enough of a dent in their sales through other things like having a better image and better title and that sort of thing. But what this company did, which was really cool, is that the reason they ranked up at the top, they were getting a ton of purchases, but most of the products on there had 40, 50 reviews, the number 2 and 3 listing including ours, but they would have like 300. And it's tough to play catch up when somebody has like 300 reviews. And I was like, how the heck did they do this? I was like, that's a ton of reviews. I know the product's not any better or anything like that. They were just good at marketing it. And so what I found out is because they had so many reviews that some people would write reviews and would actually sort of tell the story of what was going on. So what they were doing is they were basically, whenever they would send out one of their bottles of products, they would include a little postcard in there that said, hey, if you go write a 4 or 5-star review on Amazon and basically send us an email with your name that you wrote it with on Amazon, we'll send you another free bottle. Now, that's a pretty good offer for somebody who just paid, full price for a bottle. You get another free one, free shipping, free everything, if all you do is write another review on Amazon. Now, I know for sure this worked out financially for them because I know how much the product they were selling cost, because we were selling a pretty much identical product just with a different label on it. But this basically, really helped them up, and they were extremely hard to compete with that first spot. They weren't quite as clever, I guess, because we were able to do things with images and that kind of thing to basically steal a ton of their business. But this was an extremely good strategy, and it was very effective for them. So lesson number 2: if you're sending a physical product, include a bonus for reviewing your product. You may not be able to afford to send them a whole nother one of them for free, but you can do all kinds of things: free reports, free calculator, free guide, free just about anything, or whatever it takes to get them to write reviews of your product. Now, I do not recommend including the line that they did about please write a 4 or 5-star review and we'll do this for you. That's a little shady, and if you're, I'm not a lawyer, but potentially illegal, but that's something you have to talk with a lawyer about. But it's still not good business practice anyways. But if you're putting out a good product, you shouldn't have to tell them that. Plus, statistics are on your side anyways. The large majority of reviews people write, whether or not they're asked or not to write a higher star review, is going to be positive anyways. Amazon knows this, which is why it loves reviews, because the majority of them are going to be positive. Now, another idea, they were selling a physical product, and that's the example I just gave, but you can do the same thing with a book. If you're selling a physical book or a Kindle book, feel free to include a page in there, or you can include it a few different times. You don't want to go overboard with this, but you can include basically something in there that tells people to go review your book on Amazon. It's sort of like marketing 101. If you want somebody to take action, you don't want them to have to guess what that action is. You're going to get a lot more people to actually do the action if you tell them, hey, this is what I want you to do. Go do it now. It sounds kind of simple and basic, but most people don't do this in their marketing period. So if you're able to include a page in there, either at the end or somewhere throughout, that says, hey, if you're liking this book, hopefully it's really good, please go write a review on Amazon. It helps other people find this book. So that's a good idea. You can even offer them some sort of bonus for doing so. So it's a very important lesson, and this will basically help you pretty much crush just about anybody else, because most people are not doing this. Now here's some other ways to get reviews. You can basically ask Amazon customers by sending them a message after they place an order. You want to give them some time to actually use the product and that kind of thing, but a few weeks later, you can either do it yourself or have an outsourcer go through each order and basically send those people a message saying, hey, if you're liking my product, please go, write a review for it on Amazon. And you can give them the ASIN number or the direct link. I think Amazon even allows you to include a link within the message to your product. So you can ask them to go write a review. That's a pretty common one, but most people overlook that as well. You can use sites such as Elance.com, Odesk.com, and Fiverr.com, and basically there are people on these sites who will write reviews of products for you. Now you need to be careful about this, because some of them, if they don't ask to actually see the product or use the product first, it's probably a pretty shady review company or reviews person, and the review is probably not going to be that good. It's going to look fake to begin with. So you're going to want somebody, this is going to work a lot better if you have a book or a physical, or a Kindle book, because you can actually just send them a copy of it, and then they can read through it and then they'll write a review. You'll see people that are already offering this service on these different sites, but if anybody is a half-decent writer, you can just hire them and have them do this for you. Which sort of leads us into the next one, which is you can use outsourcers or reviewers you hire. I say outsourcers, could be people in other countries, or it could just be people locally who need some extra money. Basically, they can be employed by you. You can send them the product, especially if it's people locally. You can send them the physical product and have them actually play with it, use it, do whatever you do with it, depending on the product, and have them review it. If it's a book, you can have them review the book, and there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, it's basically just sort of proactively getting people to review your product. They're legitimately using it. You're not asking them to write a fake review or anything like that. You're just sort of taking things into your own hands and making sure that this actually gets done. Because most people don't write reviews just because they want to. If you get 1,000 purchases on Amazon, maybe 20 or 40 of those people will actually write reviews, just because people are busy, they have things to do. But if you incentivize people to do so, then they're going to be a lot more likely. And so this goes along with a 4-Hour Body example, in that he basically gave a bunch of people a free copy of his book and told them to go write a review. Pretty simple stuff, but I mean, when you start looking at the different markets on Amazon you're interested in, you'll find that just with a handful of reviews, you'll be able to do some serious damage as far as ranking for categories and keywords.